listening to The Sizzle on Iron Skillet Radio and Iron Skillet Television.
You know who it is. You know what it is. It's The Sizzle here on Iron Skillet Radio, Iron Skillet Television. We are the hottest talk in the 219. We are the hottest sports talk on the planet. You know who's in the building. J Sizzle,
yes, sir.
G Sizzle. We're getting back to the topic we were discussing before about numbers, the importance of numbers. What number do you wear? What number can you have? Does that have some meaning to you? When we talk about numbers, we talk about Chicago greats. Let's talk about Derrick Rose, one of the greatest Chicago players that we know, but he wore number 1 with the Bulls. But in college, he wore number 23. Then when he moved on, he picked up number 25. Number 25 having significance for those who are Chicago fans. Benji. You got to give respect to Benji. So let's look at the numbers. Let's talk about one of the greatest numbers out there, Jay. Number 23.
Yeah.
Now,
why is it great?
The Bulls, because of the greatest player of all time, Michael Jordan wore that number for the Bulls. Now, at the same time, he did wear the number 45 for a short
that number don't count.
So if that number doesn't count.
That number don't count.
And you can't wear it with the Bulls, but you have a LeBron James who has been wearing number 23, except when he went to Miami. And why couldn't he wear number 23 in Miami, Jay?
It was retired?
For some odd reason, the Miami Heat have the number 23 retired. And it's just one of those weird things that you look and you say, why is the number 23 in the Raptors?
Right.
Maybe because they just didn't want any remembrance of Michael Jordan doing anything to them again.
Wow.
But that is a number. When we talk about significance, how significant is a number? We look at players now, and if I'm correct, I think it's CeeDee Lamb with the Dallas Cowboys who wears the number 88, which is historic when you talk about the Cowboys. I mean, there's only one 88 in my mind when we talk about the Dallas Cowboys.
Hold on.
Wait, Michael Irvin.
Wasn't was Drew Pearson or somebody like that number 88 at one point in time?
See, that's the thing. If you can't even remember exactly off the top of your head, then that means that number belongs to that one person, and that's Michael Irvin.
Did you know that the Heat retired number 23 for honoring Michael Jordan? Is that the weirdest thing you've ever heard?
It's one of the weirdest. It's one of the weirdest little facts, sports factoids that you'll ever. And I mean, that's one that we're giving to you. So if you're ever in a bar and you're playing a sports trivia show, and they come up and they ask you some sports trivia, that can be one of the things you throw out there.
Yeah.
Like whose number is retired in Miami? What player that never played for Miami has their number retired in the rafters?
That's a great. Hey, you're going to win that bet. That's because they are the only NBA team other than the Bulls who have a retired number 23.
So, and do you ask yourself later on, does it become a universal number that's retired, as in Jackie Robinson's number when it comes to the NBA?
Well, hey,
do they retire number 23 across the board?
I say number 23 needs to become the new logo for the NBA.
Ooh.
We already got the Jumpman logo. Everybody was talking about Kobe and the Kobe logo, but Kobe is MJ light.
Mm-hmm.
You know, LeBron James wears the greatest player's number of all time. He know who the GOAT is.
I don't even remember his number at Miami. That's how insignificant it was.
It wasn't number 8. I forgot what. I think it wasn't
9?
3. It was that was Dwayne Wade.
Okay.
I can't remember what number it was. It probably didn't. Was it no? One was Chris Bosh.
Okay.
Number 3 was Dwayne Wade, I think, and I can't remember LeBron's number. I can't remember. It doesn't matter.
Does it really matter? Because when you see LeBron, you think of what number?
23 all the time. When LeBron sees LeBron, he thinks of 23. He starts singing, "I want to be like Mike. I want to be like Mike." You know, he's got Mookie talking about LeBron. What up, Mookie? LeBron. What up, Mookie? Why you wearing number 23? Because that's the greatest number in basketball. Why is the greatest number in 23? Oh, because Michael Jordan wore it. And he's the GOAT. What?
I mean, like, if you follow behind the GOAT, then you can't be considered the greatest of all time.
Absolutely.
If Michael Jordan did Space Jams first, if he wore the number 23 first, see all these things, if he was the procurer of all gym shoes for all people.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right.
Okay.
I mean,
so he was number 6 at Miami.
Okay, I knew it was somewhere down there. I don't know where it was.
Does it even matter?
It doesn't really matter.
How long was he there? What, 3 seasons?
Yeah,
Four?
and should those championships count? I mean, he was the first of the big 3. Should those championships count?
Oh my goodness! There should be an asterisk beside it.
Should be an asterisk next to it. He was the first one really to start pulling people together, start pulling these superstars together to go play. He was the first one out there. Because why was he the first one out there? Because he couldn't get it done by himself. But we'll talk about that at another time.
So let me put this number out there for you. I'm just going to give you some numbers.
Yeah.
And I want to see what you say.
Uh-oh.
Number 34.
Walter Payton.
Okay. Number 88.
Well, that's Irving. But I want to say there was another 88 that played for Dallas, too. Maybe I was 86. Maybe Drew Pearson was 86.
Okay. Number 9.
The Punky QB played number 9. And let's see who else. Was Drew Brees number 9?
You are good.
I know, right?
You are killing this.
You know, right?
You are killing it. Okay. Number 10.
There's a lot of quarterbacks played with a number 10. We know the great Mitchell Trubisky.
There you go. There you go.
Oh, it's out there, number 10.
Number 33.
That was Dallas Cowboys running back Tony Dorsett.
Okay. Number 33 basketball.
Oh, that was Scottie Pippen. That was another one, too, I can remember.
Mm-hmm. Number 34.
In basketball?
Basketball.
Ooh, that's a good one. Was it Karl Malone? Try to remember. That's a good one. That's a tough one right there.
Number 34, the round mound of rebound.
Oh, Charles Barkley. Yeah, Charles Barkley. He need that extra wide jersey.
Need a little space in there.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll throw this one out there for you. We'll end the game on this number.
Yeah.
Number 13.
The greatest quarterback without a championship is Dan Marino, of course. I mean, come on.
So when you talk about number significance,
yeah.
Do you know Allen Robinson's number right now?
80. Is he? I don't think he's 87, is he? I don't know if he's 87. I don't know. I can't remember.
Okay.
84?
You remember Peanut Tillman's number?
33.
You remember Brian Urlacher's number?
50. Ooh, that's a good one. I'm trying to remember now. I don't think he was 50. We definitely know he wasn't 51.
No.
Was he 54?
Okay. Now, Lance Briggs' number.
Oh, 50. Was he 52? Oh, that's a hard one. That's a hard one.
You good. It was 52.
52.
He was 52. He was 2 down the line.
Yeah.
He was 2 down the road. So great numbers translate when you talk about great players, especially when you're talking about historical players.
Yeah.
I don't remember Dan Jiggett's number, but I know he wore a number. But that might be because he wasn't a great player, but he wore a number.
Hey, Dan Jiggett's, man. The thing, I guess because it's almost out of my childhood. I can't say Dan Jiggett's really out of my childhood. But those teams are just great because they were the Chicago Bears. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I forgot what Jiggett's number was. Doggone it. I don't think it was 76. I can't remember.
You remember Richard Dent's number?
Oh, 95.
Okay. See how quick that just comes out of the top of your head?
Yeah.
You think about great players and their number.
And that's why you can't go out here and also you're going to throw out a number 3 out there in the NFL. I mean, you're playing wide receiver or something like that. Or you got a defensive lineman wearing 6. To me, I think to be iconic, right? That number has to mean something. So when you put on that number that comes, everybody knows if you're in basketball and you put on the number 23, you better be getting it in.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows that. If you put on a number 1, you better be getting it in, right? If, you know, I mean, you know. So if you look out here, if you have a bunch of numbers out there, a bunch of kids in high school, and you see a number 7, what position does he play?
Quarterback.
Quarterback, without a doubt. He plays quarterback. We see another 10, he plays quarterback. That's what he plays. Now 9 or them other numbers like that,
Receiver.
It could be a receiver or whatever
Or
else.
a quarterback, yeah.
Yeah, but 7 and 10 are quarterbacks. They've always been quarterbacks.
Right.
You know? But you know what's weird about in high school? You do not see these linebackers with the number 51 too often.
No. You know what's funny? You look at it, in my mind, I think running backs 20s, fullbacks 30s, or 40s. Some defensive backs 30s. When you talk about 50s through 80s, I think linemen.
Yeah,
Dan
without doubt.
Jiggets, number 63. The only other person I can think when I think Bears number 63, either Dan Jiggets or Roberto Garza. Those were the two 63s that stuck out in my head. But whenever I saw the number 60, 70, I thought linemen, offensive linemen.
And you always thought 60s were guards.
Yes.
See, and that's that's where the importance of those numbers are. 70s were always the tackles, 60s were guards, and a lot of times the 50s were either linebackers or they were centers.
Yeah.
They were either linebackers or centers with number 50. The guards were always number 60s. They were 62, 65, 60 something. Tackles were in the 70s, and tight ends were in the 80s along with the wide receivers. It made sense. You know, you just can't have willy-nilly just numbers just be slapped out there, you know, because, you know, I don't know. And
defensive linemen were always in the 90s somewhere.
90, they were in the 90s somewhere. Yeah, they're always up in the 90s. Yeah, 92s, 90s, whatever. They were always up in the 90s. Every once in a while, you would see a defensive end that was, you know, playing in the 50s sometimes. You know, they would never had 60 numbers. Defensive ends never had 60 numbers. They either had, like you said, them 90s. Or they might be in the 70s. I remember John Matuzak and those guys, they were number 72. And, you know, guys would be playing with those numbers sometimes. You had 78, I think was Hampton. McMichael was 70-something. I can't remember exactly what number he was. He was 70-something. 76. I think McMichael was 76. So, yeah, a lot of these guys. But these numbers mean something. At least I think so. And if you're great, and that number gets retired, there's only so many numbers that can be retired on an NFL roster. There's only so many numbers that can be retired on a basketball. That's why you start to see weird numbers pop up in basketball every once in a while. Like you see guys in them 40, you see guards and whatever, you know, or very small forwards playing with those number 40s. You know what I'm saying? It's like, where'd those numbers come from? You know? Right. Or you see a guy with, there's a number you never really see in basketball, like numbers in the 80s. Numbers in the 70s. You never see those really. Numbers in the 60s, you'll really see those numbers. You know? You don't. You don't ever see those numbers, but there's certain numbers that have standard. Now, the thing I can remember with Dan Hampton's number was I remember there was a sports commentator in Chicago years ago that always would say, oh, he's playing pretty fine, that number 99. And that's how I remembered Dan Hampton's number. But there's only one player's number I would wear that wasn't a Bear, and I would wear a jersey. I'm not a jersey guy. No, me either. I never.
I think if you're playing, that's fine. You can wear a jersey.
If your son plays for the team, you wear a jersey.
Yeah, I can wear his jersey. Yeah. I can wear my daughter's jersey, but I cannot wear just another grown man's jersey. Just something morally wrong with that. But the one person I would say would be number 92, which was Reggie White's number. And I would even wear the Green Bay version. It would either the Philly or the Green Bay. You know, and probably the Green Bay one more than the Philly one.
Yeah. And you know what Reggie White, man, and what's weird now is I'm going to say this, and it's going to sound really weird. There are some people who are listening to this right now who don't know who Reggie White is.
Yeah, lies. Stop your lies.
You know what I'm saying? They just, Reggie White, who's that? probably the most dominant defensive
Minister
lineman
of defense
to play in the NFL. I mean, this guy was just ridiculously strong, ridiculously quick, and just was, one of those guys who ruled the NFL. Who ruled, and who was a nice guy, who was a preacher and everything else like that, until you got him mad. Then he was jacking you up. And he was the inventor of so many moves. What was it, the hump move?
In my toolbox as a young player, I thought I only needed one specialty move, and I learned how to do the hump, and that was it.
Yeah.
I never tried to specialize on anything else. Young players, always make sure you have some more tools in your toolbox. Yeah. You can't use a hammer for everything. That's just...
I don't know. That's a Russian way of fixing stuff.
Yeah, you can hammer it down, but once it's hammered, it's hammered.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, you hit the nail hard, and then you pull out the hammer.
On a diesel truck where I work at, the gas cap got stuck, so I had to get a hammer and a screwdriver and tap that bad boy open. Almost made the news.
Yeah.
Yeah, G-SIZZLE's on fire. Yeah, we know. We listen to him all the time. No, he's really on fire.
No, like for real, J-SIZZLE is on fire.
Put him on fire. He's on, yeah,
Oh, it's hot, baby, hot. Woo, hot fire.
Yeah. Almost was on the news. Like, don't do, and you know, somewhere off some. Because I'm in an industrial complex. Somewhere there is a camera pointed right at me, and they just been like, people have just been laughing, talking about, he's just a smoldering ember now. J-SIZZLE.
Say J-SIZZLE lived the life and died the same way.
Went down in flames. Went down in flames. Oh, God.
Oh my goodness, this has gotten off the rails very quickly.
It is.
But I'm just going to say this now: there are some numbers that are they're sacred. They're numbers that you cannot replace. There can never be another 34 that plays for the Bears. I don't think there should be another 34 that plays for any NFL
right.
team.
Yeah, it should get retired, like they retired at number 44, and certain numbers that should just not go back out on the field. They just shouldn't.
Now, the Bears have to be careful because they're running out of numbers to retire to get retired in the Hall of Fame. If I'm correct, didn't the Hall of Fame tell them, like,
you got to start retiring numbers.
Yeah. I don't think we're going to retire any more Bears because they're going to retire every number.
Right. You're going to be out there. You're going to be out there with 32A, 32B.
Said on the field right now, number 32B.
32 subset C.
Number 34.8.
Yeah, literally. Oh, what a play by 30 point for that subset Q. What can we do?
Oh, that was an amazing catch by negative 4.1.
Divided by 4. Well, divided by 4 is playing really well today.
Yeah,
so anyway.
That's about how it's going to go at this point. So, look, and if you're Nikolai Vujicic, I mean, you can buy your number back, but really, it should have just been donated back to you.
I don't know, for real. I mean, until somebody earns that number, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
dude, you're a rookie. You don't have a number. Give me that number.
All right. It's just like, I want to play with this number. Yeah, really earn it.
Well, nobody even knows your Nobody knows your number now, sir. Nobody knows it.
That's even funnier. That's even funny. And nobody probably will. And on that note.
You know who it is. You know what it is. We're out of here, but let me tell you this. We appreciate you liking, subscribing, and sharing. So thanks again. We appreciate our listeners. Thank you so much. We love all of you. And listen, we've got all this fire content, so make sure before J-SIZZLE puts everything on fire, make sure that you're liking, subscribing, and sharing to the Sizzle. We were Iron Skillet Radio, Iron Skillet Television. He's J-SIZZLE. I'm G-SIZZLE. And we will see you on the other side.